All right, what's going on, everybody? Ryan Ogren here with MoneyMake Marketing, and today I'm going to be talking about the one mistake that's killing all of your outreach, all of your campaigns, and why you should avoid it, and then also how you can avoid it. For those that don't know, I'm Ryan Ogren. I'm the founder of MoneyMake Marketing, and we specialize in B2B outreach, specifically in the actual manufacturing space. That's really where we had a lot of our case studies. We just closed a seven-figure deal for 2025 with a household name. If I said the client, you guys would all know who it is. We've also closed, it's gonna be 8 figures in 2026. So our client's making 7 figures per month, and they're 2 months in. They made multiple 7 figures from this deal, and it's going for 15 months. So we've been able to do that. It'll be 8 figures in 2026. So we have been able to close some massive deals through our outreach campaigns. And each time we actually use something called a lead magnet. If you don't know what that is, I urge you to check out the rest of our channel. That'll help you understand our strategy in a nutshell. But today we're gonna be talking about the biggest mistake that we see people make when they're actually doing LinkedIn outreach or just cold email outreach in general. And that the largest mistake, the biggest mistake, the one mistake that we normally see is, can you guess? Pitching too soon. I had to pause for a dramatic effect. Pitching too soon, okay? The reason this is the biggest mistake that people make is because so many other people are doing the same thing, okay? And with all the outreach and the lead generation agencies that are out there, everybody and their mother is pitching nonstop via email and LinkedIn, and people, your target market is just getting hit, and they're just getting saturated to the point where they just can't take it anymore. So if you pitch too soon, you sound too similar to everyone else that they are already automatically ignoring. So there's something called scanner mode, and everyone's in scanner mode when they're actually opening and viewing and looking at their DMs on LinkedIn and email. So what scanner mode is, and if you equate this to like the direct mail days when, marketing and most marketers were doing direct mail, people would actually get all their mail, they'd have so much mail, and they would sort it over the trash can, okay? And so when marketers were doing direct mail, and they still are, there's still direct mail marketing agencies out there, not as many, but they would make sure that the very first thing that they would stand out on was making that piece of mail survive that initial sort over the trash can. So the goal of it was to make it look like, hey, this is like worthy of opening versus, hey, this is totally junk mail. That's a good example of scanner mode, and people are in scanner mode when they're actually looking through their LinkedIn DMs and their emails. And so they default to this because their brain's trying to conserve energy. So scanner mode is just where they're like they're just checking things out, but they're not really reading everything, every word of every email. Ask yourself, do you read every word of every email? No, you do not. And so when they're in scanner mode, we have to have a message look different. So they kind of like cock their head to the side a little bit and they're like, what's this? And then they read a little bit more. That's pretty much what we're trying to accomplish when we're trying to break them out of scanner mode. And so if you are constantly sending messages that sound pitchy, that sound salesy, that literally are using the same format as somebody else, then you are not gonna break scanner mode and you're gonna get a really bad return on your campaign. The number one thing is we have to break scanner mode. So how do you fall into scanner mode is you pitch too soon. If the message looks, and I'm not the judge of this, it's actually your prospects. If the message looks too salesy, you are toast, okay? So you don't want it to look salesy. So an example of this would be, hi John, we are just now closing, or hey John, we can get you 25 booked calls in the next month or your money back. Somebody's gonna be like, that's obviously a strong guarantee and I'm on my phone because I just got back to my place and my microphone isn't set up properly, so I'm just here and I'm wearing shorts, so bear with me. But back to that point, like that's a strong guarantee, and so if your offer is strong, then that might work. It sounds like everything you've heard before. Hey, John, we can book you 5 extra calls this month or your money back. Hey, John, can we do some SEO for you? Hey, it looks like your website can use some adjustments. Can I send over some adjustments for you? All of those sound very similar. So how can you actually not sound like that and get past scanner mode? Because if you sound like that, you have a very big chance, a very real possibility of you falling into the scanner mode trap, and they're just not gonna respond, or they're just gonna say no, they're not interested automatically by default. So that's one of the biggest mistakes that we actually see all over the place when it comes to actual outreach, and it really hurts you tremendously. So pitching too soon. Now that that's covered, how do you actually combat it? So how to combat scanner mode? So the very first thing that I do, number one, we have AI today, right? AI is awesome. but we use AI specifically for research. It's great for research. We use Manus. Manus is probably the best AI for this because it's credit-based, not ChatGPT because you pay recurring and it's trying to conserve usage. Same with Grok, same with all these other LLMs. Manus is a credit-based LLM. So the more in-depth it does of a job for you, the more credits it spends. So it wants to go really deep for you and do a lot of research and go extremely far because you pay it more when it does that. And we want that because it's going to be a very comprehensive research. So we use Manus. You should check it out. But how to combat scanner mode. Number one is we research what other outreach might be sounding like. Research other outreach, okay? And we'll do this with the AI. The AI will go through and just pull a bunch of things. It'll go research marketing agencies in the space, in that particular niche that are targeting your target market. It'll also go through what they think it might look like. And this is very important because we don't need this to be perfect. We just need to know the ideas of where the marketplace currently is and what they're saying because we want to sound completely different. So research other outreach. And then two, research prospect pain points. Manus is really good at this. Okay, so when you just have their pain points, obviously you know what's relevant. So pain points and relevant points. There also might be something that maybe their company's raising capital right now. Maybe there's something that maybe their company's just hiring new employees. Maybe they just posted something. Maybe they just had their holiday party and they posted something on LinkedIn. Like there might be some relevant points that we can use on this. So those are two things that we can do. And then once we have other outreach, we know what the marketplace is probably pitching them. We know what their pain points and relevant points are. What we do next is we create a lead magnet. Create irresistible, I don't know if I'm spelling that, irresistible lead magnet, okay? Why do we do this now? Because we now know exactly what we're trying to solve we need to sound different from this other outreach, but we need to actually hit all these pain points and relevant points and tie it back to your offer. And the way we do that is with our lead magnet. So we create our lead magnet. Lead magnet can be a pitch, it can be a strategy, it can be helping them, explaining how you can help them, it can be explaining your offer to them. It can be a million different things. And that's why we like the personalized video pitches the best because you can cram anything that you want into a personalized video pitch and it can actually really work for you and land and hit really hard in a good way. So we like the personalized video pitches, but you can do any kind of deliverables on that. And then once you create that irresistible lead magnet, that is now what you send. You offer, you outreach, plus offer the lead magnet to them. And when you do that, now it doesn't sound like you're pitching. It actually sounds like you're trying to help. Or you're actually offering something to them instead of asking them for something. You see how that works? It's a tremendous difference and you'll see your response rates go through the roof if you can actually master this. So we're trying to offer them something of value and that thing that's of value is going to be the thing that gets them booked on a call with you or whatever your conversion mechanism is, instead of asking them for something right out of the gate. That's the number one mistake that we see with people when they come to us with their outreach is they are actually pitching too soon. So don't pitch too soon, use a lead magnet instead. I'm Ryan Ogren from MoneyMake Marketing. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. This is a new channel. And if you found value here, please let us know. And if you want to work with us, there's a link below. You can click to our website and you can apply to work with us. No promises. We are a small team. But cheers to 2026. All right, see you guys.